Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the seven o'clock, friends. The Village Council of Forest Park regular meeting for Monday, February 24th, 2025 will come to order. We begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're able, please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero.
Here.
Commissioner Mellon Rogovin,
Here.
Commissioner Vogt.
Here.
Mayor Hoskins.
Here. Okay, Commissioners, we need to approve the minutes from the February 10 regular council meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Mellon Rogovin. Discussion? Okay, there's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero.
Abstain.
Commissioner Mellon Rogovin,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Okay, we're at public comment.
Yes, Steve Ramel.
Good evening. My name is Steve Rummel. I'm a Forest Park resident, and thank you for allowing me to speak to you this evening. I'm speaking as a resident, but my comments are informed by my role as one of the trustees of the Forest Park Police Pension Board. Excuse me. As you all should know, the police and fire pension funds have been underfunded for many years. The total police fund alone was underfunded by more than 60% as of May of 2024, a total of $41 million. That deficit is certainly higher now and is not only growing, but every day that goes by that the pension is underfunded, the rate at which the funding deficit grows increases. The pension board presented our analysis to the village more than a year ago, requesting that funding levels be increased to avoid a future catastrophic failure of the fund, the consequences of which would be dire for the village. I am not exaggerating the nature of this threat. For the past several years, there's been talk of selling the part or all of the town's Altenheim holdings. I'm asking here tonight that the council take action this year and sell whatever portion of such holdings as you deem suitable and to use the proceeds to pay down our pension deficit. We will not fully fund pensions with such a sale, but you may buy a few more years to find a more comprehensive solution. I would refer the council to the analysis we previously provided to the village for our specific recommendations for how to solve that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Are there any more public comments?
No, sir.
Okay. Commissioners, there are no formal communications before the council tonight. There are no department reports. We are at bills by resolution. Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready.
Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Forest Park, Cook County, Illinois, that we dispense with the reading of the individual bills, inasmuch as each department head has approved and signed bills in the following aggregate amount for their respective departments. Refunds and allocations, $3,265.68. Public Affairs, $11,778.75. Police Department, $5,929.55. Community Center, $4,948.38. Council and Finance Clerk's Office, $225,725.79. Council and Finance Fire Department, $2,280.64. Department of Health and Safety, $9,554.07. Streets and Public Improvements, $24,277.13. Public Property, $39,066.94. Seizure, $1,700. Federal Customs, $4,232.03. VIP, $9,572.37. Water Department, $265,966.30, for a total of $608,297.63.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, is there a motion to adopt the resolution on the bills? Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second? Second. It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Rogovin.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt. Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
Ooh, I didn't number my resolutions.
You don't remember the next one?
I don't have the numbers now.
We'll just codify it after the meeting. We'll just
Okay.
keep track, call this one A for this one, and then we'll just go from there.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right, Commissioners, there is no unfinished business before the council tonight. We are at new business. The first item is a presentation by the Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, everyone. We're back from the chamber to report on our most recent 6-month period. If you remember when we proposed our marketing funds program, we were to report back every 6-month period. So this is the reporting from September 1st to February 1st. And we budgeted 20,000 and we were about $1,500 under budget. We spent a total of $18,580. If you look at the sheets that should have been provided to you, we do have a very detailed breakdown of every item that we spent funds on, but every single item is in the general category that we've already discussed. So that's been running smoothly. We're also getting a little more efficient. We're actually ahead on our planning. If you look at the second page for February 1st to August 31st, we already have the remaining 20,000 for the year budgeted. So you'll see an additional breakdown of all of the funds that we have for the rest of the year. And Lori can go through some of the details on what we've been doing if she wants.
Thank you. As Neil said, we were here in August to report on the entire year last year. And we've provided the council with the list of marketing activities and plans for this period that ended Feb 1 and the plans for August 31. And Rachel Entler has our receipts for everything that we've spent. Included in the packet was a copy of the West Suburban Living magazine, Forest Park Town Focus, which I think is just a beautiful piece. Got to a different audience a bit and some nice photos. They determined the final editorial copy, but we worked closely with them to provide them good images, which is part of our professional photography that we have taken. And also, names of businesses and just different things so that we could get a good representation of Forest Park. Also included were some color copies of some of the things we did over the holidays. Just to drive traffic, we were hearing from businesses that things are slow, and we just did a bunch of different activities. I believe, Michelle, you were at some of them. And it just helped drive traffic to town and business. And we bought gift certificates from local businesses when we gave those away. So that was a good program as well. We participated in Visit Oak Park Restaurant Week. There was other communities that participated, but we had 15 Forest Park restaurants to participate in that. The 2026 event cards are being delivered to me on Thursday. And we're working on creating social media campaigns and also making sure that the back end of our beautiful website is up to date tech-wise so that it displays well when people are searching for information and things of that nature. So we're constantly learning, and we know that creating blogs and social media content is key. That's how you reach people. And our partnership with Visit Oak Park helps us with that in many ways. They have the expensive tools where they can find out the keywords that people are searching. And they provide those for us as well. And then you write content and blogs using those keywords, and then they get picked up, more often. They also created for us a Forest Park video that I'll be sharing with everyone that you guys can certainly use. It's for both of our uses. And they did that at no charge. They had Ripson Group, their PR place, create this nice overall sort of Forest Park video. So we'll be getting that to you. And we're exploring other options to see, extend our audiences. So we've been meeting with ESPN to see if that sounds like a good fit. If we do something like that, we would need some partner businesses, because it's not, like $1,700 for an ad. It's quite a bit more than that. But if you have any comments or thoughts about that, we'd love to hear it. And anytime you want to ask questions or need some information, just let us know and we'll just keep working diligently and using the funds to the best plan that we configure. So thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Lori. Any questions for the chamber commissioners? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, commissioners, next item is a presentation from the Forest Park Arts Alliance on their public art project.
Hi, I did put some, hi, everybody. I did put some additional information on your desk, and I'm just going to quickly go over that and then try and answer your questions. The first thing I wanted to make clear is the Arts Alliance has grown a lot over the last few years, and we're always looking for programming that will really enhance Forest Park as a artist living space and also a place where you can always connect to the arts. So we saw using Constitution Court in a manner that invites Instagrammable moments and frequent visits to participate in a lively arts community as a fabulous opportunity. National experience suggests that art in a location so central to our vibrant commercial district will cause more visits that last longer. So what I'm here today to talk about is getting a permit from you to use Constitution Court for a pilot installation that would premiere the day of the Spring Wine Walk, where we have 400 to 500 people here. So it will help with the image there of it being a quirky place. And we hope that the people will then spread the word. And you, in your packet was an explanation, a more detailed explanation of Little Perspectives, the proposed art installation that we're really excited about. We consider ourselves very fortunate to have a number of artists and residents in town who are extremely talented. And those of you that Ian Pfaff will do this installation, and he's the guy that does the amazing caskets. If the mayor remembers putting his head on a plate, that was Ian's casket. And he promises to be as quirky and as exciting in this installation. And we want to thank the chamber for contributing funds to pay the artists. One of our goals is to make sure that artists are paid in town. So rather than go through this whole thing, our goal is to have this as a pilot that we'll learn from and then have 2 to 3 additional installations that we would come before you to get permits again in Constitution Court. But our goal is in the future, we are actually applying to Neil Rembelsis, his family foundation, for a grant to help us extend this throughout the village and to also have lots of different art installations. And we're looking for this to be one of our core programs that grows the way something like Garage Galleries has grown from just a couple of garages to now over 40 and a major event. So we're really here tonight. I have most of the rest of the board here to answer any questions you might have about it. We are asking for the same considerations that we did for Fiber Flash, which is to waive the $50 fee and the 10,000 surety bond that you normally require. But in all other respects, we've gotten insurance and we're ready to comply with all the permit requirements.
Any questions for the Arts Alliance?
I'm not sure. I know Ian's not with us tonight, but I've appreciated the breadth of his art. Certainly, I would not expect this particular installation to be anywhere near casket races, but I had a hard time from the written piece that was in our packet understanding what the installation in Constitution Court was going to look like. And the requirements that were going to be needed from the village to help make that a possibility, because, I know everybody comes to us and says, we'll do it, but, we work together. But I'm the kind of person, I need something visual to help me with, and I kind of visualized a little bit, but I had a hard time understanding kind of what was going to go into Constitution Court, if somebody can explain that to me a little bit better.
Right. Well, the installation, as it's described, is a diorama with, you're going to interact with it. You're going to be able to look into it from different angles, and you get a different story each angle that you use. and it will only be in the fountain section,
Mhm.
and it'll be approximately 5 feet by 3 feet, and you will be able to, like I said, interact with it. The other thing is the requirements of the village are basically the same as the fiber flash. Ian is going to do all of the installation. We ask that the area be kept clean, which is just normal maintenance for it. And we met with Sal and Rachel at the site to go over all of the requirements to make sure that we took care of all the security issues with the very important camera there and make sure nothing's obscured.
Right.
And it,
And when you say interact, what does that mean?
well, he has ideas where you'll be able to turn it and it will turn and people will actually be able to get photographed next to some of the images that you can see.
Okay.
And again, some freedom for the artist. This is a pilot program and we're trying to make sure that we capture, and I love the fact that he's a resident, that I think he told me he lives 3 doors away from Constitution Court.
Yeah.
And he'll,
Yeah.
and so he's going to actually build this inside. So it's not going to be built there. You're not going to have a lot of construction issues or something like that. It'll be built and moved there.
Okay.
So if you want to submit specific questions, I'll be sure you get the answers from Ian, but, he's a really creative person and
Yeah.
we need a little bit of
Yeah.
leeway. People did ask, could you draw a picture of this? Well, maybe, but I'd almost rather give him the freedom once we say, yeah, the actual size is okay. And that's what we went over with Rachel and Sal. And really all that we're asking from the village is basically keeping it clean. And, if you want to do an inspection before it's open to the public, I'm sure he would be fine with that.
Yeah. The general logistics sounded okay with you all? Okay. If they're okay, it sounds fine.
Okay.
I just, but from the description, I just couldn't picture what it was going
Yeah.
to be. And when you say interact, I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So this helps.
Thank you.
And I'm fine with being loose about, the artist gets to, but I can see enough.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle.
I just wanted to say that I love that you guys are thinking of new and different and interesting things. And I appreciate starting with the fiber flash, like how open you've been to, and just receptive to the request of the village to keep things safe. And to, keep in mind those things that shouldn't be obscured or blocked or sightlines for drivers, that sort of thing. You've been really a great partner. While we sort of explore something that has not been done before and we don't know what it's going to
Yeah.
necessarily look like. And I just hope as we keep going that we'll just keep that in mind. And once
Right.
you get closer to this is the design and it is going to be installed, I think sort of a pre-opening walkthrough
great
and just
idea.
making sure that things are safe
Yeah.
and that everything's working appropriately.
Absolutely.
Because I love that we're thinking and, bringing in art into the community.
Yeah.
So
And our goal is to have this be a multi-year program, just like garage galleries grew into. You never know when you start on this. And we really do think that that space is such a great size for this kind of thing. Very few communities have something like that that's so connected to their commercial area. It's really an opportunity.
Go ahead.
I have 2 questions. I love this idea too. I'm familiar with the artist's work in other capacities and really like him. I think he's got some great ideas. He's funky and cool. My only question about this, since we're kind of endorsing it as a village, do you have any restrictions or guidelines in terms of content for either Ian or the other artists going forward? And it's not that I'm, not open to anything artistically, but if something's, heavily political, for example, or, touches on
Absolutely.
subjects that are going to be controversial, I would want to be real careful about that.
Well, our hope is if this initial installation goes well, that we would actually have a juried second project that might launch in July and I don't know, it's probably the press is here and stuff. I don't want this to be like announced as absolutely happening, but our goal would be to have artist designed bistro tables and chairs that we put there, but that would be juried. So it'd be sort of the same way that we analyzed what kind of designs would go on the mini murals on Circle. They would have to submit drawings. And that is, we have a process, which I'll be glad to share with you, that we're working on as an organization for evaluating the propriety of it. And again, one of my feelings on this is there's lots of laws in place already for decency. We can't have advertising. It's, you know, those things are all already in our ordinances. And I don't think we need another ordinance for it, but
I agree.
we do plan to jury subsequent and do a broader. The reason, and I just have been so amazed at some of the work that Ian's done. And when I talked to him and he said, "Ooh, I just live right there," I said, that's why we're calling it a pilot. We expect to learn a great deal from him as he installs this about, you know, what the space really works for and things like that. And, you know, you never come into these with guarantees. I remember that fiber flash probably confused you guys like crazy. And I'm still getting requests for chickens today. I mean, I just had to make one last week for someone. I mean, it just, these things tend to have legs, and we're really hoping for that to give us a reputation as a place to show up and just see something different and fun. And again, I'm hoping that we've released different and fun at the right person, but we think we will learn a lot from this first installation.
Awesome, thank you. And then you kind of answered my second question, which was going forward, you know, what are the, you know, how would you choose the artist? So it would be a juried process?
Yeah, there would be a juried process. And the only reason that didn't happen here is we're relying on him to tell us a lot about what works and doesn't work with the space. As an artist, that he has broader experience than I think a lot of people that will apply to us in terms of what he's done in his career and things like that. So I think he'll bring us a great perspective on what works there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioners, next item is an ordinance abating taxes from the year 2024 to pay principal and interest on the village's general obligation bonds series 2012. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxam. Is there a second? Second. It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. Okay, there's no discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxam, Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Rogoven,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt, Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-13-25.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is an ordinance granting approval of a conditional use for an existing medical clinic in the R2 district. This is 334 Circle. Is there a motion?
Nero will make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxam. Discussion. Do you want to say something, Director Glinke?
That mic's not on. You got to turn it on.
This one. See, this one.
No, it's just not on.
So the petitioner's been practicing at that location for 7 years, 50 years prior to that, so over a half a century. It served as a dental office. It's a tiny 651 square foot, one practitioner office. And frankly, it's the way it's laid out right now. It makes examinations and procedures, you know, rather difficult. So the plan originally was to add a modest one-story addition to the back. They're proposing 586 feet, which is somewhere between a 2-car garage and a 3-car garage. And that would be built on slab on grade, which would provide him with additional exam and procedure room. The subject property is located in the R2 zone district. And in the R2 bulks, non-conforming uses cannot be altered. Now, fortunately, in the use section, medical clinic can be a conditional use or a special use. So we forwarded this as a special use with the intention of providing them with the ability to go ahead and make this modest addition. There were no representatives from the published neighbors. It was adjacent to multiple condo buildings. I think it was one of our bigger mailings. It was 400 letters went out. So there was no public comment. It's simply a way to provide property owner with the ability to modify his house or modify the building, improve the building, and take that next step to purchase the building from his sibling who currently holds title. So if it's non-conform, if it's has conditional use approval, that takes a couple check marks off of the closing process. You know, the mortgage companies are always a little leery about things like non-conforming uses and structures and the ability to rebuild. But the addition will be built within the bulks of the R2 district. They will not be asking for any relief. The PZC looked favorably on this with a 6-0 approval vote. Maybe it might have been 7. Jordan attended that meeting with very little Q&A. So I'm happy to take any questions. And the
All right.
petitioner is here tonight. If you've got any questions for him?
Are there any questions for Director Glinke? Thank you. Commissioners, any discussion on this item? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxam, Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Rogovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt, Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-14-25.
Commissioners, next item is a resolution for maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code. Is there a motion? Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second?
Chair Nero, second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. All right, there's no discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxam, Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Rogovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt, Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-18-25.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution approving and publishing the official zoning map of the Village of Forest Park. Is there a motion?
Nero will make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxam. Discussion? Okay, there's no discussion.
Commissioner Maxam. Aye. Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Rogovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt, Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-19-25.
All right, Commissioners, next item is a resolution authorizing and approving the execution of a highway authority agreement and supplemental highway authority agreement with Combined Real Estate LLC. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Mellon Rogovan. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion?
Yes, I noted in the ordinance language that there is a discrepancy in the address referred to on the first page. It says Harvey. And then later on, it says Harlem. And the work is in Harlem, on Harlem Avenue. So it needs to be changed to Harlem Avenue.
I can correct that.
Okay, yeah, it shouldn't, it's not a material change, but when I first saw it, I was like, Harvey. That's not in Forest Park. Yeah, so we need to just correct that to make it, if we're certifying that the ordinance is correct, we have to change that in the ordinance and in the language.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any further discussion, commissioners? Okay, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxam? Commissioner Nero?
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Ragoven?
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt? Mayor Hoskins?
Aye.
This is Resolution R-20-25.
Commissioners, next item is a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an application for a fire station rehabilitation and construction grant with the Office of the Illinois State Fire Marshal. Is there a motion? Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxam. Is there a second?
Sure, I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. Okay, it appears there's no discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxam? Commissioner Nero?
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Ragoven?
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt? Mayor Hoskins?
Aye.
This is Resolution R-21-25.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioner, next item, the Police Department is seeking approval of a motion to direct the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners to offer employment to the next two eligible probationary patrol officers. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxam. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. All right, there's no discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxam? Commissioner Nero?
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Ragoven?
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt? Mayor Hoskins?
Aye. All right, Commissioners, next item and the final item under tonight's new business is we're seeking approval for a community center senior trip contract to the Hollywood Boulevard Cinema. Is there a motion? Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxam. Is there a second?
Nero second.
Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion? Okay, there's no discussion on the senior trip contract. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxam? Commissioner Nero?
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Ragoven?
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt? Mayor Hoskins?
Aye. Commissioners, that concludes our new business for this evening. We are at Administrator's Report.
Good evening. Want to remind everybody that the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade is coming up this Saturday. So looks like it's going to be non-rainy and not too cold, and it'll probably feel warm for people to be outside after the bitter cold that we've had. So looking forward to that this weekend. Always a great time put together by the Chamber of Commerce. Speaking of the Chamber and the Arts Alliance, I just want to say that, over the last couple of months, I've worked really closely with Lori and then the Arts Alliance. And, we've been looking at a couple of things that really kind of play into what I like to consider the, informal economic growth strategies. So I just wanted to kind of put it out there that I'm really looking forward to continuing to work with the Chamber and the Arts Alliance on some of the exciting programs that are coming up in the next couple months. And then briefly, I just wanted to address the issue that we recently had with the water bills. We did receive a lot of calls in the office and got several emails. And I also know that there was some information that was posted on Facebook. Our staff has worked really hard the last week to try to figure this out. We work with a mailing service that, we deliver they come and they pick up our water bills. We print them in-house. They come and they pick them up and they stuff, they stamp, and they get it to the post office for us. So, they have been a crucial part in trying to help us figure this out as well. So they reached out to the U.S. Postal Service to determine, where they dropped it off and then where it went through next. We're still kind of trying to get to the bottom of actually what happened to these missing water bills. But I just want to give credit to the clerk's office because I unfortunately witnessed and saw some not so nice comments, particularly on social media, about some accusations that were absolutely untrue in regards to anything that village staff had done. They executed what we do every 2 months with the water bills exactly as we have always done. So We're sorry that people didn't get their water bills. We took the opportunity to extend the due date so that people could pay in person without having to have late fees assessed, because we do realize that not everybody wants to pay by credit card online. But I also want to take this opportunity to let everybody know, if you get a paper water bill, your account number is at the top there. So at any point in time, if you have that account number, you can go online on the village's website and access your water bill. You don't have to have an account set up to pay for it that way, but you can go on and you can see it. You can also sign up to get your water bill emailed to you. And that gets emailed out at the same time that we print the water bills. So there's lots of opportunities here. We're sorry that it caused, so many issues for people who, we do realize that, they're used to getting a water bill in the mail and it didn't happen. We are investigating, but we also want to make sure that people know that there are other opportunities for you to access your bills. And then, we're also going to be putting forth a social media and a communications plan as we work towards the new water meters. There's going to be a new portal which will allow every account holder to have access to their water bills and their water consumption. And so I just want to stress to people, please communicate with Village Hall directly. We don't monitor social media. We may put information out there as needed through social media, but we are not monitoring social media all day long. And we're certainly not monitoring the side groups that exist, which there is a place for those. And I understand that, but we don't have the staff to be able to monitor all of that. So just encourage people, if you have problems with what's happening, that's related to Village Hall, please call us, please email us. We need to know this stuff. We need to know when people don't get their water bills. But we can't solve those problems unless we're having direct contact with people who are having those issues. So again, I just want to give kudos to the clerk's office who, seamlessly handled all the issues that have happened the last week and really did it with a smile on their face and really wanted to get to the bottom of it. They didn't just brush this off as, something that just happened. They really wanted to make sure that people were heard and we've got to a solution for it. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Administrator Rittler. All right, we're at Commissioners' Reports. Commissioner Maxam.
Yeah, just a few things. I want to thank the clerk's office also for their hard work, not just during, this water bill crisis, but all the time. I see you guys work really hard, and I appreciate it a lot. And then I want to just give a sort of thanks in advance to our village administrator, Rachel, to all the first responders, to Public Works, to the Chamber of Commerce for the all the work you guys are already doing to prepare for the parade. A lot of us just kind of show up on parade day and have a really good time, but there's a lot of planning that goes into it to make sure that we're all having a good time and that we're all safe. So in advance of the parade, I want to say thank you for the work you've already done. And thank you to the Chamber and the Arts Alliance for coming and presenting tonight. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Nero.
Yes, sir. Quick point of mention here for the Board of Health. So back in January, at some point, I think it was like the second or third week in January, the Board of Health put out a survey. We have paper copies around town, and that's really for the village residents to learn more about mental health and wellness in our community. I think it's a great initiative. These flyers that are around town, they're D91, Park District, the library, and here at Village Hall and Howard Moore Community Center. But you just take your phone, scan the QR code. It's 25 questions. The more participation we can get, the better off or the more that we will know and be more educated on mental health and wellness, which is certainly a good initiative in our community. I think it would be good if we can get another shout out in the village newsletter. I don't know if we have plans for that or not. Okay, great, awesome, and maybe a refresh on the website as well. That being said, Saturday, it's like the Chamber's Super Bowl every year, right? I mean, is Lori still here? There she is. Just a great event in the Village of Forest Park, and I'm not going to belabor that. Looking forward to it like I do every year. Lori, I didn't get any T-shirts, so I don't know if I'm going to have the cannon this year, So I'll see. Maybe I have some up in the attic still, but it's always fun to get that T-shirt cannon. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Yes, I think I share the same comments that Commissioner Maxim with the Art Alliance project. Full support. I think it's great for the Village of Forest Park. I'll use the word tasteful installation and something, of course, that all residents would, be able to enjoy with this first one. But I'm sure you guys are well aware of that. And looking forward to see how that comes to be. And then I got an ask. I got an ask for village administrator and commissioners, and mayor on the next agenda. I'd really like to get the zoning code updates back in front of us. There is a lot of stuff happening in town, and getting those zoning code updates that were before us months ago, they were shelved, and I would love to get that back on the agenda so we could push some in both residential projects and commercial projects forward, but without that zoning update first, we're kind of stuck in limbo. So, and with that, I'll conclude my commissioner report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Mellon Rogovan.
Thank you. I just wanted to share that on Friday, the 28th of February, I will be representing Forest Park at a job fair organized by several trustees in the area. It's called Red, White, and You. It's a hiring event at Local 73 Sheet Metal Union Hall in Hillside. It features opportunities for veterans, but also, of course, everyone is welcome. And we have some opportunities in Forest Park that we'd like our surrounding communities to know about. And Trustee Victoria Van in Westchester is a major organizer of this job fair, and she and I are partners in a lot of events and things. So she invited Forest Park to participate. If you're interested in the job fair, would like to attend because you're looking for a job, please come out. Sheet Metal Union Hall, Local 73 in Hillside on Friday. And of course, the big day on Saturday. Be out there with all my St. Patrick's Day regalia on. Thank you to everyone who's making it a wonderful day for us. Wanted to also mention another Friday, March 7th, we are celebrating women leaders in Forest Park at Bobby's East Side. It's a fundraiser for Sarah's Inn. It is featuring Chief Lindsay Hankus, and she's talking about her leadership journey while we highlight the needs of Sarah's Inn and bring women leaders in Forest Park and our area together for a networking opportunity. As far as traffic and safety is concerned, that's always top of mind. Wanted to highlight that there is a change in the meeting day for the Traffic and Safety Commission. We're meeting the third Wednesday of the month now, and citizens are always welcome to participate in our commission meetings in Village Hall the third Wednesday of the month. The next one is March 19th. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Vogt.
Thanks. I'll just keep it short. I wanted to echo my fellow commissioner sentiments about the events in town, and especially St. Patrick's Day parade coming up this weekend. I also appreciate everyone's hard work, and I love the fact that we're continuing the siren-free zone from Van Buren to Des Plaines, so folks can go there if all of the sirens and horns are a little bit too much for them. And I love that. I think Administrator Entler mentioned that we might be one of the only villages in Illinois that has that. That we know of, but I do really appreciate that, and I think that's great. So thank you all, and I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend. And then I just want to thank you again also for your presentation, the Arts Alliance and the Chamber. I look forward to these partnerships. It's nice having these little sort of slivers of brightness and sunshine in our day of late. So I love that you're bringing art into the community, and I appreciate your partnership with the village and really being open to working with us. And then the last thing, I'll just remind everybody that there's a couple of vacancies opening up on the recreation board. So if you want to join, or you know someone who you think would like to do some really fun stuff with us, they can reach out to me and I can get them an application. And that's it.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Vogt. A little bit earlier today, we got notification that in Springfield, they're starting to hold hearings on transit consolidation, specifically the bill that would create the Metropolitan Mobility Authority. And I think there's going to be a Senate hearing next Tuesday afternoon. So we'll be monitoring that closely, as mass transit is important to Forest Park. And that concludes my commissioner report. Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes, sir. Nero will make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Nero. Is there a second? It's been motion and seconded, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim. Aye. Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Rogovan.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt. Mayor Hoskins.
Aye, we're adjourned.
Feel better. Thanks. I'll get a hug.